I'll do.
Now, Carl said that he thought that Wayne was going to be here via Zoom.
He did say that, but I don't know.
And he said that Jim is in the hospital again, or something's going on with.
He was in the hospital Monday. He didn't know how much longer he would be there, so
Okay,
he didn't know if he would be able to make that.
was just the three of us.
Just three.
Every board member, you better watch it because we're falling.
Hey man, I'm as tough as nails. And just as honored.
I lived 74 years, never was in a hospital except to visit. I turned 75 4 times.
Oh my gosh.
Well, see, I've got about 6 years to go, Mike. I'm good.
Don't feel that confident.
I know.
My sister just died
Oh,
on tennis court at 71,
Yeah.
just 2 weeks ago. Just
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. Yeah, we really need to get started, guys.
Yeah.
So can we do a roll call, please?
Wayne Brown, Kate Harrison,
Here.
Mike Parker.
Here.
Roger Tone,
Here.
Jim Snyder.
Okay, it's just us. Consent agenda, minutes of the regular meetings. Everybody had a chance to go over them. Can I have a motion, please?
I motion that we accept the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Kate Harrison,
Yes,
Parker,
Yes.
Roger Tone.
Yes.
thank you. Now, an emergency public meeting for the Oak Valley Reimbursement District. Do we have anybody?
It looks like we have a couple folks, I'm assuming they are here for this.
Okay, good.
So just to recap and start off the public hearing, we are complete with construction on the Oak Valley Reimbursement District and sewer installation. The packet shows the final cost. And there's $630,669.
Okay, did that come in approximately more or less or right where
We
we,
were less than the original estimate.
that's what I thought.
So the original estimate had the thing that most people are worried about here is the final assessment for each property was 6,000 and change, and we came in at 4,851.
Okay,
So for the final cost.
okay, when do I need to read this public hearing thing? Joe,
When you open the public hearing,
yeah,
and I think you just need to do the highlighted ones,
okay,
or that's,
okay.
those are the things you need to do.
Okay, so,
You just need to open it.
all right, so I go ahead and do that right now.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, so I'm opening the public hearing. And then Nick, go ahead, and you gave some of the background information already.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just repeat that. Like I said, the final construction cost for this project was $630,669. Which resulted in a final assessment for each property of $4,851.30. The basic premise here is that there's some folks here looking. I don't know if anybody wants to make a comment in the public hearing. The
Yeah.
board will hear any comments from any interested citizens. And if not, we can move forward and the board has the choice to approve the final ordinance
Okay,
for that final assessment. Is there anybody that has anything to comment on out there? Doesn't look like it. I'm not seeing any takers.
doesn't look like it.
Do you guys have any general questions on this? Carl's kind of outlined everything here. There were a couple design changes through construction, very minor stuff, and then there was some additional paving that was completed as well. But as we mentioned, we came in under the original estimate.
Yeah, that looks that nice.
Yeah, it actually does. So, one thing to note is, once this ordinance is accepted by the board, I believe there were a couple folks who already paid the assessed fee, so they could connect early. We will end up doing a reimbursement of those. folks
Good,
if they-
yeah, that's what we talked about, that's what would happen.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
get reimbursed.
So,
Okay,
yeah, and then moving on from there, we've always got our financing option for anybody that wants to finance those fees. Just at a rate of prime +2.
okay. If we do not have anybody in the public that would like to speak to this or ask questions or what's that one?
Chat, can someone please email me a final document? Yeah, that's what we can do, the final ordinance.
Sure. I just need his email address and everything.
That's Vic. There it is right there on the screen.
At the.
Is this a site test?
Yes.
Exactly.
It's not working for me. Okay, anyone else? All right, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and move on for a motion to pass the ordinance.
I'll move
Is-
that we pass ordinance 21038 Oak Valley Reimbursement District.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call, please, Joe.
Kay Harrison,
Yes,
Mike Parker,
Yes.
Roger.
Yes.
thank you. And I'm really glad it came in under. And it's, for some people, that's still a lot of money, but at least they've got good stuff now.
Yes, and some additional infrastructure that's.
Yeah.
that worked out pretty good.
Yeah. All right, going on to stormwater quality facility easement and agreement.
Okay, this is an agreement between RVSS and A&B Properties. This is for a project that we've been working on with, in fact, Mike Burrill, on a property that he has on Antelope Road and 7th Street
Uh-huh.
in White City Industrial Area. Carl was spearheading this one. He's been working with Mike, and then Jenny and myself have also done some preliminary background on the design and the proposal. The plan is essentially to build a regional facility to treat the entire upstream drainage basin of this, which, if I'm remember right, is right around 50, just over 50 acres, which is a pretty good chunk of ground.
Yeah.
That would be available, that this facility would fully treat. It wouldn't provide detention, but it does definitely meet the treatment standard. So the basic premise of the agreement is outlined here, obviously in the agreement, but we're gonna have to do the responsibilities for the owner they would need to dedicate a permanent easement, which is just about complete. We just need signatures and for it to be recorded. And the owner is going to provide irrigation for vegetation. RVS will in turn do all the design. We'll need to delineate the wetlands out there, which is going to take a little bit extra time. And then we will provide any removal field permit and obtain that for construction, construct it and maintain it.
Okay, and that we have a cost that was agreed upon and not to exceed that 36.
I don't think there's any cost
No, I don't believe
associated.
so. Oh, right. No, there is regional facility. Not correct.
That's under compensation.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So if we do the design and we determine that it's really gonna cost us more than that amount, then we've determined that it's not essentially financially feasible for RVSS to continue with the project.
Correct. Yeah, that would be, we'd know that pretty early on the wetland delineation.
Okay.
So,
Anybody have any questions?
so I believe we'll need a motion, or
Yeah,
do we need a motion? Yeah.
yeah, we do. Roger, it's your turn.
I'm having a hard time getting through the iPad thing. Like, I can't get back to the agenda even like to find the,
Oh,
with that, to, find the most, find the ordinance number, so.
I've got an extra
uh,
hard copy here.
Well, I'm good.
I think Joan's gonna have to give me some education on iPad use.
It took me a while, Roger, so I totally understand.
All right, so,
And we don't actually have a resolution on this. It's just approval of the agreement and I believe the stormwater easement.
Correct.
Right,
is with A and B?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the company.
It's just an LLC, Mike Barone.
All right,
So,
all right, I'll move for approval of the stormwater quality easement agreement that's to be formed with A and B Associates Company, whatever they might call themselves.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please, Joan.
Kay Harrison,
Yes,
Mike Parker,
Yes.
Roger Tom.
Yes,
thank you. Okay, that's been approved. Okay, next we're on to resolution 21-30.
And Wayne is also in attendance now.
Oh, good. Oh, yep, there he is. We see the top of his head.
oh, yeah, it's his signature look.
Yep.
There he is. Hey, Lou.
Yay, hi, Wayne. Yeah, but he's muted, I think.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for catching that, Jenny.
Speakers, does she? I can hear her on yours.
No, I don't think so. I can turn it.
Okay, are we ready to move on to resolution 21-30 for the trailer?
Yep, that's Shane. Let me take that one away.
Okay, Shane.
Okay. All right, seeking approval for resolution 21-30, award proposal for a 50 kilowatt trailer mounted generator set to Norpac Power Systems LLC for a total of $50,041.20. This is replacing our older generator that we had to fabricate a water pump on because they no longer make parts available for it, and it was in the budget.
That's what happens for these older stuff, no longer have parts. Okay,
The shocking part about this is it's actually sitting on the shelf ready to go. So we don't have to wait 2 years for it.
oh, that's good. Whoa.
Yeah.
You're lucky it's not on a ship somewhere.
All righty,
I'll move that we pass resolution 21-30, 50 kilowatt trailer mounted generator set. That is on the scene.
I'll second that.
okay, roll call, please.
Kay Harrison,
Yes.
Mike Parker.
Yes.
Roger Tom.
Yes,
Wayne Brown.
I think he said yes, but he's still
He did.
muted.
Hear us or-
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, yes.
I got you, Wayne.
Thanks,
Sure.
Wayne. It's
I got
good to
two
see.
yeses on that. Fran, thank you.
Okay, 21-31, walk behind rubber track easement flusher.
Yep. Seeking approval for this unit. This is replace our old tired, literally rubber tired unit and tired 1996 machine. This is actually currently on the assembly line, believe that or not, and seeking approval for award of proposal for this machine to Western Systems for a total of $60,282. The caveat here is that we don't have the shipping costs included in this proposal, and we won't know what those are until the machine is actually ready to ship out to us. In light of the current climate out there, they just can't give a cost on the shipping until it is ready to go on a truck. So the estimate initially was somewhere around $5,000. So let's hope it goes down in the near future before it's ready to go.
Where is it?
These are made in the Midwest, I think in Illinois.
Do they have one?
It's currently on the assembly line, so it's being built, and you can't even get a commitment on even when it's on the assembly line because of the parts issues from getting wherever they need to get them from. So there is no clear-cut date is when that would be ready to ship, but it shouldn't be more than 2 months, they said, depending on part suppliers.
Okay. Okay, we need a motion for this one.
Sure.
Resolution 21-31, walk behind rubber track easement flusher.
How about and associated shipping costs?
Hopefully we'll see before next Christmas after this Christmas.
That's the hope.
And I need a second.
Do we need to include shipping costs in these?
I'll second it.
Got a second.
It's recorded.
All right.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Wayne. Okay, and Shane will let us know about the shipping costs, so,
Yeah, I'll keep you updated on the equipment.
okay, great. Roll call, please.
Wayne Brown,
Yes,
Kay Harrison,
Yes.
Mike Parker,
Yes.
Roger Scholl.
Yes.
All righty. Eventually, we're gonna get a rubber track easement flusher.
And then we can walk behind it.
Yeah, okay, financial update, Brenda?
Alrighty, so we've completed our first quarter of fiscal year 22. In those 3 months, we received quite a bit of FEMA money and SDIS money as reimbursements for the fire and for COVID. A little over 500,000, of which we put them against the 2 jobs. I think it was Oak Valley, and over on page 7, you'll see J326, the service abandonment for the fire damage. And then J331, Oak Valley Reimbursement District. So over the 3-month period, we did receive quite a bit of money that we applied to that, to those 2 jobs. And then if you go back to page 5, you'll see Shane's group did sell 2 of our fixed assets in that quarter. Of that was a 2011 Ford that we replaced with a newer truck for $20,000. And then we sold the 1997 equipment trailer for $8,500. They've been cleaning up back there. And that's all I really wanted to note. I guess if you guys went to page 9 and you noticed on the very top job, and I noted it in the front page of the memo, there was a couple items that crossed over from fiscal year 21 to 22. And this was one of the items of the Shady Cove lightning strike. We spent the money in fiscal year 21, but we didn't get the reimbursement from the insurance company until fiscal year 22. So that's what the credit is there for on that job. And any questions?
No, thanks, Brenda, thanks for
Okay.
letting us know,
Yeah, I also wanted to update you guys. We're still working on the audit. The audit's just about done. We're hoping to present to you guys next month. They might have to do like they did last year and present it in January. I'm not sure what their timing is exactly, but we are towards the end of the audit, and so far no issues have come to my attention. So I'm hoping we get a good positive audit report this year as well.
I'm sure we will. It was an unusual year, but I'm sure it'll be okay.
That's all I have for you.
That's as loud as this thing can be.
Yeah,
Nick's been playing with it. Okay.
usually it goes to the speakers. I've got them plugged in. Trying to turn the volume up. That goes to the speakers, but the actual volume doesn't go through the speakers for some reason. I could probably try to turn this around.
No, that's all right. I figured it was something like that.
I'm having a little bit of a hard time, but I can pretty much make it out, but
Okay. Sorry about that. It's things like Frankenstein together here. I don't know. I feel like if I mess with it, I'll really screw it up. So I'm gonna leave that.
I know that feeling well.
You're okay, Mike? You're fine.
Okay.
Can I sit where you are then?
Sit over here.
You wanna trade me spots?
No,
Okay.
it's just my hearing now, where I could be next to it.
Okay, we need to approve that, don't we?
The quarterlies?
Okay, yeah, we're all good then. All right, because it says review and approval.
It sure does. I apologize for that.
That's okay,
Put the wrong thing in there.
no problem.
We still approve it.
Yeah, we're still good with that. Okay, project updates.
Okay. West Glenwood Pump Station Rehab, there's no new news on that one. That one's pretty much ready to go as soon as we get the supply for our construction crew. Shady Cove Pump Station number 6. This is a tiny little pump station we have in Shady Cove. We are going to do the same thing with this pump station as we're doing with West Glenwood. We're gonna rehab it with grinder. pump
Grinder.
motors. So that one's kind of waiting in the wings. We've got a good start on it, just needs to be finalized and submitted to DEQ. Shady Cove, what's
We're
that?
just waiting for the walk behind rubber track.
Yeah, we're gonna use it on that one. It's right by the river. So those are on.
Are they up to size or though? The green light's on.
Yeah. I just didn't want to look.
Understood.
Okay, Shady
Thank
Cove
you
Pump
for
Station
checking.
number 4
Thanks,
abandoned.
Carol.
This is a new one on this report. It's somewhat complicated. It has somewhat of a complicated history, but the general premise is Flycaster Place subdivision was proposed to us by a local developer in Shady Cove, which is just down the hill from this pump station. They obviously needed sewer service, but they couldn't do it without a pump station. So we worked with them for an agreement to have them install a pump station which incorporates capacity to be able to reroute flow from existing pump station number 4 to the brand new pump station. And then we'll abandon pump station number 4.
Oh, wow.
So it's a pretty slick deal.
It's like an upgrade and they're doing it.
Yes, but we don't get out of it totally scot-free. We still have to install, 1,300 feet of 8-inch gravity sewer and 675 feet of force main. So, but small price to pay to have a brand new pump station.
And get rid of one.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's pretty far along in the design process. It just, again, most of these just need to be finalized at this point, so. And then submitted. That one actually does not need to be submitted to DEQ. Our new pump station, luckily, this one is complete, substantially complete. There's a couple little punch list items. We need to install a fence and do, I think, a couple little, like some pressure gauges. Oak Valley Sewer reconstruction, that one's done, we just discussed that. Central Point Force Main Rehab, this project is, construction is substantially complete. We're just gonna move forward with a couple little changes and punch list items. We have to do a walkthrough and after they abandon a couple manholes. Dump pump station replacement. This project is still moving along. We're on the home stretch. All 4 pumps are installed. All the VFDs are in the building. The electrician needs to hook up the VFDs and we're gonna start doing electrical tests this week. And then
That's good.
Yeah.
Everything, all equipment, everything's going.
it is, yeah, it's all there. They just need to hook everything up and then we're planning on doing testing by the end of the month.
Oh,
So
cool.
go live, and then that'll probably bleed into the first week of December.
That's good.
Done by December,
Well,
by Christmas maybe.
yeah, that's probably a better bet. Once we get all the punch list items going. We did have a lot of procurement issues with this one, just because of the nature of that situation right now. There is one outlying item on that. It's not a huge deal, but it will, the contractor either drop the ball or just can't get a hold of a 30-inch knife gate valve of the right material. They've got it on order. They're trying to get it delivered, but they're not going to be able to get it delivered in time for the testing. So they're going to put a separate gate valve in there just to, as a stopgap, and then come back later, bypass the station and put it in the ground. So we'll probably hear about that later. That's all I got for now.
Okay. So we fixed up all that stuff out on Gephardt in preparation for all those.
Well, that project's been on the capital plan for years. It's got a more recent number, but that's because I moved it up from.
Yeah.
It was, I think, it was in the double digits. It was like J0 something, so. That's been on the special cleaning list forever, and it was an old force main that, the actual vertical alignment's kind of going up and down, so, and there's only a couple houses on it, so it goes septic, and our guys just.
Yeah, there's gonna be more than a couple houses on it pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've got those plans in my email inbox to review right now.
cool. Okay, thanks, Dick. Any questions or anything, guys? All right, we're going to stormwater update.
All right, well, you should see this on the big screen in there. I've shared the stormwater report. So we received a letter back from DEQ. I'll make this a little bigger for you. On our annual report and our stormwater management plan document submission that was due on November 1st. I actually received this back on November 4th, so it was a pretty quick review. I did submit to them just after our board meeting, so we got in before November 1st. Basically, this letter states that we're in full compliance. It says they're very impressed with our education outreach program. We have a strong illicit discharge detection elimination program. They like our post-construction stormwater program. The only comment that really kind of caught my eye is they say in here that they encourage RVSS to continue doing site inspections on sites less than 1 acre as much as practicable and per the MS4 requirements. So the permit does not require us yet to do those inspections, but we do them. And we've been doing them with particular frequency in the post-fire area just due to the amount of work that was going on there and the discharges that were happening. And so DEQ's made a note that they're encouraging us to continue doing that. So that is our basically approval of the work from the last year and of our plan for what we propose to do to meet the permit for the next few years.
Cool.
And then moving on, so the Blue Heron Park Stormwater Facility, that was a project that we have been sort of working on. We were really working on it back in 2019, pre-COVID, pre-fire. We were kind of going full steam ahead on that, and then put the brakes on the whole thing. And we just kind of reevaluated that project in light of all the workload, capacity issues that have come up, and determined that at this point in time, our cost benefit analysis does not come out ahead. And so we have decided not to go forward with that project. This project would have created a stormwater treatment and detention facility in Blue Heron Park for an outfall that we have located there. That outfall currently discharges into a natural wetland, and we would have rerouted it to go through the treatment facility and then discharge back into the natural wetland. And I've spoken with Eric Swanson, the Phoenix City manager, about this. He is okay with that at this point, but he's hoping that something will happen there in the future, maybe, but we'll see.
So it is something that we might revisit in the future.
Well, I don't know if we will.
Okay.
It's a real difficult spot.
Yeah, well,
She wants something.
I'm familiar with that area. It's out there. It's like, it is challenging, that's for sure. Yeah. Okie dokie, go ahead, Jenny, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. And so the next thing I have is a new project that we're working on. And this is it's in collaboration with ODOT, and it is their Coleman Creek to Glenwood project. So ODOT's doing a project to put in bicycle lanes and sidewalks in that stretch of 99. As part of that, ODOT has to manage the stormwater runoff from their increased impervious surface. And so we've been talking to them about, well, you have to build a stormwater facility. Why don't we build a bigger stormwater facility and also treat some of the developed area that is not currently treated, that's in RVS's MS4. And so what we have been kind of talking with them about is locating a facility in approximately where this red polygon is, which is on a publicly owned parcel. It's owned by Jackson County. And Jackson County is on board with us collaborating and locating that facility there. And this property is in the city of Medford, so it's not technically in RVS's MS4, but the drainage area that we would be treating is shown here. And this was put together by Nick in our EIT, and it shows, so this blue area is that property where the facility would be located. And then the lower to the south, this is kind of the area where we would be taking the stormwater and directing it up to here to be treated. And so it's about 125 acres that's basically all developed, primarily developed already, been developed, for decades, but has no stormwater treatment. And the goal would be to treat it in this location. And so we would, in addition, so it would be RVS's stormwater runoff being treated there, as well as the ODOT runoff, all being treated in this facility. And so this is, I think, a great project just from the standpoint of the collaboration that we've gotten Jackson County to agree to allow us to pursue this. And ODOT is interested in collaborating with us on this because we've tried for years to work with the county to pursue projects on county-owned property. And so at this point in time, they're on board. And so what we need from you guys today is ODOT has sent us this memorandum of understanding. And basically this document says that we are going to work in good faith and collaborate with ODOT on coming to an actual project design and completion of the project with them. We don't have any financials at this point. The discussion currently is that ODOT is going to do the design and engineering and bid the project as part of ODOT's bid package, and that they would be looking for RVSS to pay for the costs that are in excess of what ODOT would incur to build a stormwater facility just for ODOT's runoff. but we don't have numbers on that. So at this point, this MOU is just saying that we're all going to work together, basically. And so what we would need is approval of that from you guys.
Okay. Okay, so Jenny, we can do that. As soon as you get the numbers and stuff, you're gonna let us know, right?
Of course.
Of course. All right, so we're gonna need a motion for the Coleman Creek to Glenwood Regional Southwest Facility project that we're doing with ODOT.
I so motion.
I'll second that.
Now, do you have any questions or anything?
Stormwater
Yeah,
facility,
yeah, okay.
the SW.
Okay, we're good. Well, see, on my planning commission stuff, we do the motion and then we do the questioning.
Oh, really?
That's what
Yeah.
we're supposed to do.
Yeah, 'cause that's like, I want to say according to Hoyle, but it's not.
Roberts.
It's Robert's Rules of Order.
Robert's Rules of Order, yeah.
I'm more familiar with Carson. Okay, anyway, roll call.
Wayne Brown,
yes,
Kate Harrison,
Yes.
Mike Parker,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
Okay. Okay, anything else, Jenny?
That's it.
Okey dokey. All right, next O&M updates.
Okay, well, it's pretty much been business as usual this last month. You see the footages in front of you there. The lagoons received 211,165 gallons of septage, 52,110 gallons of porta potty waste, and 39,410 gallons of fog, for a total revenue of $45,402.75. We did do our routine special clean out in Gold Hill, the routine 808 feet last month. Our special cleaning summary, which does not include Gold Hill, by the way. We spent 42.5 equipment hours and 119 labor hours on special cleaning last month at a total cost of $8,655.22. Outside work, we spent about 4 days out in the city of Rogue River. We did some video inspecting and flushing of their sanitary sewer lines, and I think we did a little bit of pump station maintenance for them in those 4 days. So the crews enjoyed that time out there to get outside the norm. Pump stations, Justice Pump Station, we had a pump failure alarm. It was just ragged up. We had to pull the rag out and get it back online. Building and grounds, we had to reschedule the exterior paint for the admin building to April of 2022. Our original scheduled date last month got fouled up because of the weather. So we got pushed back out till next year sometime. And then still waiting on the contractor to come clean the gutters over here on the big building then next door, and then put in some gutter caps so we don't have to keep doing this and we'll have to do it ever again. So, but still waiting on them. We're at the mercy of all these contractors right now. And when you're low hanging fruit, you're really low hanging fruit. So you get bumped and moved around. Vehicles and equipment, we sold another vehicle, so we'll add that to our list next go around when Brenda presents it. Unit 17, which was our 2008 Ford F550, our last remaining V10. So kiss that baby goodbye. Flatbed crane truck for $18,000 to a fine couple in state of Washington. They engrave large boulders and headstones and stuff, so it's the perfect vehicle for that application, honestly. And aside from the resolutions on the new equipment, that's about it.
All right.
Okay,
We could have an update on the breach of security. We want to,
whoa, what happened?
Shane?
Well, we got broke into last night out back in one of our storage containing construction equipment, and they got us tentatively. It looks they got us about $8,000 on some nice equipment and whatnot. The only positive that could come out of this is that the equipment that they took is not going to be stuff that Joe homeowner uses. No professional homeowner will use any of this equipment. This is for contractual work, the work that we do out in the right of way. So the one jackhammer that they got from us was one of my new Milwaukee battery powered jackhammers. And I think it's the only one in the state of Oregon. So that'll stick out like a sore thumb when they post it on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
And that's what we're kind of hoping that they do. And kind of the neat thing with these new pieces of equipment, they have tracking devices on them. And they ended up taking a couple batteries and the jackhammer that they call one key system. And I have an app on my phone, and I have all the serial numbers of all the equipment. I have the one key system on the app on my phone. So if the equipment's located and the serial numbers are removed from the equipment, I just have to be next to it, and I can pull up the app and pull up the piece of equipment, and the device will talk to me through my phone, so I'll know for sure it's ours going forward. So I'm kind of hoping that we will be able to recover it. So I'm going to hold out before I replace it initially in hopes that the fine officers at the Central Point Police Department will recover our goods and make us happy.
That'd be neat.
Do you have security cameras back there?
We do, yeah.
We have,
Get good visuals.
I don't know, Carol usually reviews that with Shane, so I don't know. Did you guys get any good footage of them?
I have not had a chance to take a look. I'll be taking a look this afternoon.
Okay.
And it's probably not likely the location of where these things are so far out back, the cameras don't see out that far, and there's no lighting as well to go with it. So
Don't you
we're
just
looking
give them a
going.
call?
Well, we drove around with my app in hopes that it was close by and it would ping on my phone so I'd get a location on it, but we weren't successful. They came in through the back. They cut through the fence from the property that's owned by Fire District 3, and then cut the fence that separates our two
Fire
properties.
District 3 needs to up their security too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost that through the
Yeah. And fortunately for them, the jackhammer was on a nice cart that it comes with, so they were just able to wheel it right out the back. And they took a core machine and a concrete chainsaw. So again, all these are specialty items that'll stick out pretty good, especially at a pawn shop. So we'll hope that they'll get that stuff back, and they're lucky we didn't catch them when we went looking.
Use the concrete chainsaw.
We wouldn't have needed to call the Central Point PD, I assure you, if we would have got a hold of them. We got a practice manhole out back.
I was
can
gonna
make
say
things
that
disappear.
manhole out back would go breaking bad on them.
Yeah. Hang them by their feet from some fall restraint.
There you go. It sounds like Carl's already filed a claim, but it's already in the works for insurance anyways, so. Anyways,
So when did that happen?
last night.
Last night.
See, unfortunately, if they got through the cyclone fence, pole cutters didn't get through padlocks as well.
Yeah, it's a tough one
Yeah.
because
We have that problem
Yeah.
at Dallas Park. We have an RV park in the back. And we had, only way we stopped them, we would have about 3 break-ins per year. Even to break into the mobile home park and steal TVs, bedding, sleeping bags, tools. The only way we stopped it, we had to get about $9,000 worth of hog wire. We have hog wire outside the fence, the pole cutters can't cut.
right.
We had 2 very entrepreneurial people, retired people there, who actually cut off the top of the part of the hog wire and fish hooked them sharp. But they climb over the fence, and the way they do that, they throw a sleeping bag over the top, and crawl over barbed wire, or anything like that. That hog wire that they sharpened to a fish hook point would penetrate. mattresses.
Oh,
Wow.
We've not had one break in the last 2 years and 3 months.
How
because
many
of that
ambulance
hardware.
calls have you had?
Yes. Of course, we're well lighted. You can see us from the freeway. It looks like an RV sales car.
That's right.
There's so many bright lights there.
Yeah.
are you going barbed or barbless?
They're barbless. I mean, they're just like needles. They're like needles. That's how sharp.
Poking
got
holes in
those.
those
They
boys.
cut the top 2 inches off and there's a strand about 2 inches long. You can't bend, you
Yeah.
can't cut. And they're like needles.
Okay.
So if they climb that fence, they can't climb under it. If they climb over it, they will have some injuries. Of course, we were right across the street from what was the largest campground on Greenway ever. When you look across the freeway and you're waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you see all the years of RVs back there. It's an old mine.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. All righty.
Wow.
We might have to give some talk to the guys out in the meadows. Okay. Next, who's going to do Carl's report?
I'm gonna have to channel Carl on this one. So, but we can also talk about it while he's not here. So it's kind of cool.
Cool.
You have any topics? We went to the consent agenda, personnel policies. He's adjusted these slightly. He buttoned up the on-call policy. He plugged some holes in it that there was a couple little loopholes in there that he wanted to tighten up. And then he also wanted to discuss whether or not we wanted to acknowledge June 19th, which is Juneteenth, as the federal
Juneteenth.
holiday. He wanted to have a discussion on this at this meeting, and then we can address it at the December meeting. So.
It's been made a federal.
Yeah, it's been made a federal holiday, and then whether or not we want to
What is it called?
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. To be honest with you, I can't speak to it much more than that, but I do know that we honor all federal holidays currently. So
Yeah.
If we continue with that, we'd have to make a decision.
Except there was one in there that you don't.
Columbus Day.
Yeah, I think that was traded years ago for the day after Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
That's the story that I got.
Mhm. Well, gives everybody, all the hardworking people around here one more day.
Yeah, there's that. But, there's also we currently have a floater as well. Specifies whether that floater is applied.
Oh, okay. Well,
Do we know if there's any other, I mean, I know it's a federal holiday, but is there any other counties, special districts or cities that recognize it as a full-blown holiday?
It just started last year,
Yeah.
like on the day before or
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
We signed it, so.
it's
There's
like.
several that
Everybody.
recognized, that started to recognize it last year. I know, like, I think City of Portland and Clackamas County, they all recognized it. So it's probably gonna be a growing thing, I would imagine, because it just
Yeah.
started.
Holiday call.
Yeah, I would agree. And you're probably gonna see a higher density of folks that acknowledge it as you go further up the I-5 corridor.
Yeah.
Well, that's another world.
All right, so Mike is asking for, Mike.
I still
Hart, a
have
little
not
more
heard what this holiday is.
clarification
Oh,
on the
It
holiday.
celebrates the end of slavery
yeah.
in the United States.
It's called Juneteenth.
Did you get the part that Jenny said?
No, I can't hear that.
So I'm hearing her right. It's celebrating
Wait.
the end of slavery in the United States.
Thank you.
Is
That
an explanation.
explains it.
And so,
Okay.
I mean, I would offer that we would, wait until things move further south with recognizing it. That's my
Yeah.
opinion.
I'm sure we can do some sort of analysis here to see what other agencies, counties, municipalities, so on and so forth are currently acknowledging it. Yeah, litmus test is
That would be good.
it. Okay. Right, Carl has outlined, he's put together a little spreadsheet here showing all of the activities that were in response to the fire. As Brenda mentioned, we've got about $553,000 in reimbursement from FEMA. He's done a really good job here outlining all the expenses that we've incurred. A couple of these that are notable, obviously the larger ones. One would be Arborwood Pump Station. We were paid out from the insurance from the actual damage, but we, at the time, you know, if you guys remember my board report for this one, we ended up finding that pump station was we actually found a pretty substantial hole in the bottom of the wet well, because the steel wet well that needed to be fixed anyways.
Yeah,
And so, and the pumps, you know, the thing was, you know, pushing 30 years old.
yeah,
And it was about at its end of its useful life anyway. So we took the opportunity to just upgrade it. So.
Yeah.
And then service line protection, you can see that was the capping of all our laterals. You can see the payout on that was pretty substantial. One thing to note here, he said that the reimbursements are typically about 75% of the eligible cost, so that's right in line with that number of reimbursement. And I know he worked a lot to
Yeah.
get FEMA what they needed on that. They
Yeah.
kept asking for all sorts of stuff. UBO3, that was straight across for the insurance reimbursement. Wrap Road was one of those projects that we were able to just tack on and take advantage of the fact that we could relocate laterals because they weren't currently in service. Talent Mobile Estates, same show, and Gamus Road, same show. So those were basically what ended up being our a lot of our capital improvement program last year. Oak Valley, we already went over. We'll get, the plan is that we'll get 50% of that total cost back through the reimbursement agreement, or district, sorry, and management costs, and then the totals. I don't think we really need anything from that. That's just informational stuff from you guys, for you guys. So a couple other notable items. DEQ did their inspection of the Shady Cove treatment plant. They attached a letter and basically said that
you guys are awesome out there.
more or less, that's what they said. The facility is well operated and well maintained. No violations were noted.
Yeah,
So that was pretty easy. Along the same show, as far as our Moody's insurer comment, they also commented on our fiscal responsibility portion of organization. They said that we're in pretty good shape. Basically outlining what kind of a liability we are. And it said we have capacity for additional borrowing of money, which is, we don't use it, but it's always good to really have it.
that we're a good risk.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
Basically,
That's
I read that. You're good risk.
Yeah.
Well, we can do this.
Oak Valley, we already talked about that. The budget committee. I know this one's a concern for Carl, at least it seems like. I'm kind of reading through the lines, but you know, there are going to be 2 vacancies in both Mike Burrell and Gary Hall. Gary does not want to renew or rerun, and Mike said he would do it if we absolutely needed it, but he's not super interested in, not super excited about rerunning. So Carl just wanted to have a discussion.
It's not a really big commitment, but you know, that's cool. We'll just put out there that we need 2 or 2 more budget members. We'll get them.
Yeah, I know that. Well, one of the things we talked about at the SDA, our recent SDAO meeting, there's a huge push, and I'm sure you guys are aware of it at the state level to like not require it, but promote diversity, you know, at a certain level, and have a representative portion of your population represented at your government agencies. And so that was just a thought. And, you know, it was a tough conversation because it ends up being how do you actually do that? There's weird things you can do, like, put out job applications in multiple languages, or make those applications or show that anybody can apply for these positions or run for these positions. And so I think that Carl wanted to touch on that a little bit.
In principle, I agree with having a diversity, because it speaks well not only to the organization, but your communities. And it's nice to have input from different people. It really is, because you see things from a different perspective.
Right.
And that's really important. It is sometimes really hard to get people because there's a lot of reasons, mostly because of time constraints on some folks. I know, okay, speaking just for moi, when I started on the Citizens Advisory Committee for Central Point way back in the day, because I'm almost old, and that was a while back. And at the time, I had all my kids. I had several kids still at home. I was working all the time and stuff. And then we moved this far, and I was in the city limits. And I was asked to run for city council. And that put even more stuff. But I was really fortunate. At that time, I had an employer that worked really well with me. So I could do as much as I wanted. And I loved it. I ate it up because I learned so many different things. But it's I don't know how I'd love to get more people involved. I'd like to get Hispanics involved, more women involved. I love you guys, but I would really like to see, and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
For a lot of different reasons, and you can't push that.
Yeah.
You can't. You have to. The individuals have to have the want to.
Yeah, you're basically reiterating the long and the short of the conversation that we had up there, and it's difficult to promote it. There's little things you can do, but there's not much you can you can't push it. And
Yeah.
that was one of the major talking points, was that it was, most of the folks who were representing other special districts said that it's a slow burn. You can't just come out firing on something like that. You just gotta kind of allow it to happen organically.
Yeah.
Little tweaks here and there that kind of show that we would be open to it 100%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you hit all the points. It was, I think Carl mentioned 30% of White City is Hispanic, 15% of Phoenix or something like that. It's obviously 50-50 now.
Yeah.
So.
But and a lot of the people that volunteer in ways that are close to their heart and close to their cultures and stuff. And so they have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. So if you know anybody that doesn't have anything going on and they know what a balance sheet looks like, and they fit those demographics.
We'll see what we can find.
Just go through the retirement communities.
Yeah.
There's people that are bored of watching Oprah all day long.
Okay.
Although we have 400 residents and try to find 8 applicants for the re-election of board of directors is like pulling teeth.
Oh, yeah, we have the same.
It takes too much time. In reality, if you're not a president, it's only an hour every 2 months.
Yeah, we have the same thing with our HOA.
Yes.
I've been there for like 22 years. This was the first year I got involved in it because I didn't want to get involved with it, but now I am. Anyway, we'll keep that in mind and see what we can do to find folks to fill those 2 positions that represent the communities that we serve.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the only request. Board education, I'm gonna punt on that.
Okie dokie, we punted now for 3 or 4.
And then, I don't know, did you want to go to the SDA stuff?
You want me to do it?
Or I can do it, yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. The annual conference is in Eugene this year. Obviously, everybody's invited, and it's in February.
Are they gonna Is it gonna be live action?
Mhm.
Cool, sign me up.
Okay.
I just need to know soon because the hotel rooms go out very quickly, so if you're interested in going.
Is it on the weekend of the Ducks game?
Oh, yeah, traffic will be
Basketball.
horrible.
You got
Say February.
And then the other little bullet item here, the last one here was
Or dinner.
another fun one, which is do we want to have a board dinner?
no question there.
Okay.
So you wanna do an
An
in-person
in-person
board
board
dinner
dinner.
like we have done in the past, okay?
I'm good with that.
When did you wanna do it? It's usually the end of February.
Yeah, that's
Usually February, isn't it?
Do you have the date for the annual conference? I should know that.
The 10th through the
February 10th
13th.
through the 13th, it's on the agenda.
Thanks, Joe.
Roger, are you up for February for board dinner?
Yes.
Jacksonville and school?
That's what you want?
They're used to us.
And vice versa.
They're under new management.
Yeah. Are they under new management?
Yeah,
Oh, then
Jerry
they're not
Evans
used to us then.
but Don Mountaiakis are gone,
Uh-oh.
so. Laz, I think Laz. How do you pronounce his last name?
Ayala,
I think
he's involved there somehow?
either him or what other developer who's the other developer oh, it must be Laz. It's one of the
Mark.
Hispanic developers.
Or Claudio?
No, it's not Claudio.
It's Mark Knox. Laz and Mark were together. Most of the
It must be
time.
Laz that bought it and
I can see that.
put a bunch of people together. I think so.
All right, I'll see what I can do and see what they have available for February.
Cause it's like, I like eating at the pub in Central Point, but I'm not sure if they have enough room for us or if they have
On the point.
yeah, the point, the pub,
Did you
the
have
point.
whole
It's been the
upstairs?
bricks. It's
Yeah,
been-
brick. But not, I don't think it's been the pub. I think it's been the point
Right,
or
we'll
the
just go
brick.
into that.
They have the whole upstairs as a party room, but it also has like pool tables and stuff. I haven't been up there, but I've researched.
Okay,
We could play pool and heels, yes.
We did.
we can do
Done some in-person research there,
that. I
John?
have not.
You need
Yes.
to walk there.
they have good food.
Yeah. they do.
I think you should make the new board member pick it. That's kind of the initiation process. He's got to pick the
I
place.
don't think he can hear you because
Oh, I
the
got that.
speaker's on.
I heard Shane.
Okay.
I'm good with trying Jacksonville then.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I
He's
can walk
biased,
there.
though.
I can walk there.
Yeah, he's Waco. Okay, well, that's all the bullet items that I had.
Okay. Well, thanks, Nick. You did good. And so now we need to pay the bills.
I move we approve the November claims listing.
I will second that.
Roll call.
Wayne Brown,
Wake up, Wayne. Yes,
That sounded like yes.
okay.
Yeah.
It looked like
Kate
a yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Mike Parker,
yes.
Roger Trump.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, one and all. It's really good to see you. I'm glad it was nice to see you, Wayne. All right. Take care, everybody. We're done.
Good job.
Who all attends the board dinner?
The board members.
But I mean, does Carl and his wife show up?
Yep.
Just spouses, right?